Now, though, I'm very, very, very happy to say Chris Leese, our artist in session, joins me in the studio now. Good evening.
Very good evening to you.
How are you? You okay?
Very good, mate. Very good. Busy.
It feels quite strange you coming in because I feel like I've known you for a very, very long time. But the first time I met you was when you came into the session a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah?
I don't know why.
Okay.
I just got that feeling. Do you know when you feel like you know someone?
You might be one of them people that just...
Over-friendly?
Yeah. I don't know.
In a nice way. Nice way.
Yeah, not too over-friendly.
So for people who don't know, that never heard the show before, Chris Leese is a rapper from Macclesfield. So this is the first time you've been on the show tonight. Welcome. Thank you very much for coming in.
No problem, mate. Thank you for having me.
We'll talk about you and the music that you're making a little bit later on, but you've done a session for us tonight. Should we start talking about the session? We'll hear that and then we'll have a chat. Does that sound all right?
Absolutely fine, mate.
So the two tracks that you've done for us in the session, do you want to tell us about those and we'll talk about the cover later?
Yeah. First one is two tracks off an album that I've done with a rapper called J Madden from
He's from Blackpool. Yeah,
very, really good rapper. You need to check him out. He does rap battles and stuff like that too. I think it was, I might have to refresh my memory here, mate. A track called The Problem, but we only did my verse, and also a track called Home With Me, which features a guy called Leroy Reed, if you've heard of the Valleys.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So he's on there, and obviously they both feature Sarah Newton from Macclesfield as well.
Yeah, and you did a track as well called The Landline,
That's the one.
We're going to play first in the next few minutes, which had its first play on the show last week.
Was it? Thank you very much.
And I think it's probably fair to say, possibly lyrically one of the best songs I've heard in a long, long time. Everyone who works on the show was absolutely loving that song last week.
I think it can cater to a different audience to just the normal sort of hip-hop tracks that most people are hearing. So. And
the way you wrote that was quite interesting. Didn't you go on Facebook for that one?
I did, just for some inspiration, but I heard the beat. I think it's a Smokey Robinson sample. It was produced by a lad called Focus, who's from London, who's doing the whole of our album, Big Shots album, and he just sent this beat. He sends loads of beats across, and I'll be like, yeah, give me 2, 3 and 4, but nothing else, and then take it from there. And then obviously I heard this one, I was like, right, what am I going to write over this? I'm going to do a sort of a concept track, feels a bit childhood, summery kind of vibe. Let's go for a 90s track. Then I started writing and I thought, right, I'm going to definitely be missing stuff out, you know what I mean? So I thought I'll put a quick Facebook status. What do you miss about the 90s? What was your favourite thing about the 90s? And all these things started coming back, like Gremlins and Saved by the Bell. I'm like, I missed that one out, or I'll put that one in, I can fit it in here, or whatever it was. So, yeah, it involved Facebook a bit, but... Yeah.
We'll talk about it all in a minute. Should we just hear the session now?
Yeah, I'm eager to hear it back, mate.
This is Chris Leese in session on BBC Introducing on BBC Radio Stoke.
Way before rap songs, I love Scatman John, bumping out here brothers with my trash pants on. In all honesty, it doesn't seem that long since I ran along screaming the Batman song. Chilling at the benches, and we would truck parks, kept them all hushed, locked up in my lunchbox. Us lot skating by the bus stop, cunt stock, buying push pops from the truck shop. Football stickers and wrestling figures, manhunt, cat guns and turtles with the sickest. Always wore kickers, we was eating pick and mixes. Every day was Christmas, I wish I could relive it, but no mobiles, you had to use the landline. Get a smack backside if you didn't act right. That's why I love to reminisce about the past time. Grew up in the 90s, I had to take it back, right?
Remember back in the day, living carefree and all we did was play. Back in the day, back in the day, chilling in the park, just me and my mates, growing up in Blighty in the 1990s.
Removed the stabilizers and earned a few cuts. Grew up a bit and used to try and do stunts. Being a nuisance, reading Goosebumps, eating school lunch, PE and new pumps. Loving Fresh Prince and watching Will Smith. When Southgate missed, I was going round a twist. Grey United strips, Eric's flying kick. Remember trying tricks, thinking I was Ryan Giggs and spelling out the word boobs on a calculator. School discos, trying to do the Macarena. Playing Streets of Rage, everybody had a Sega. And on a Saturday, we were watching Gladiators. But no mobiles, you had to use the landline. Smack up on your backside if you didn't act right. That's why we need to reminisce about the past times. Grew up in the 90s, we had to take it back, right?
Remember back in the day, living carefree and all we
every other week we were having sleepovers. Terminator 2 all the way to Hocus Pocus. Chucking water bombs and we were spraying super soakers. Underage smokers, hiding from the grown-ups. Splashing in the bubbles when your mama run a bath. Rugrats, bum bags, serving succotash. Blowing hubba bubba while I'm watching Thundercats. And staying out late trying to make the summer last. I'm buying comics, always playing Sonic. Kirby, Furbies, and the girls with Polly Pockets. Spaceships and rockets, Tamagotchi pop it. Wallace, Gromit, and copping Dr. Dre the Chronic. But now we got mobiles and never use the landline. Parents get in trouble if they ever raise the hand side. That's why we need to reminisce about the past time. If you grew up in the 90s, sing it back like. Remember back in the day, living carefree and all we did was play. Back in the day, right back in the day,
Back in the day,
chilling in the park, just me and my mates. Growing up in Blighty in the 1990s. All we did was play.
in the 1990s.
In Session, only on BBC Introducing from Stoke.
Yo, my name's Chris Leese. I'm in the studio with Sarah Newton. That track was called The Landline, and it's from my new group called Big Shots alongside Oli Frost. We're working on our debut album now. The next couple of tracks, we're going to do a taking off a collaboration album with Jay Madden called White Noise, which you can get from chrisleese.co.uk. Both of them feature Sarah, and the first one's called The Problem.
And so we just watch as the problem grows, spreading faster across the globe. The population has lost control, but all I know is it's all for show. We just watch as the problem grows, spreading faster across the globe. The population has lost control, but all I know is it's all
It's
for
all
show.
attention-seeking celebrities, record thieves, benefit cheats, girls with STDs, steadheads and geeks. Everyone's getting sleeves and begging retweets, taking pictures of breakfast and what they get for their tea. The only way is Essex is weak, pathetic and cheap. I'm so fed up I've had to go and disconnect my TV. Same stuff every week, girls spending their keep, getting cosmetic procedures so their chest is increased. It's the media nonsense that they project to the streets, infecting the teens so they seem to think perfection is key. And you swallow all the blooming rubbish fed to you peeps. That's the very reason Great Britain's dead on its feet. Believe me, the scenes are vile. Each week police seize indecent files of preteens from PCs to pedophiles, and we compile registers with low CRP denial. It's evil how these beasts can be allowed to teach a child. And why you smoking while you're pregnant, you thick? Fags have chemicals in. Aren't you aware of the risk? How in the heck are you ever gonna care for your kid when they ain't even born and you're killing it with every sick? It's like we all got confused and started to copy dudes. Sheep following sheep, ain't got a clue what to do. But don't take offense and think I'm having a pop at you, cause in all honesty I'm a part of the problem too. So
we just watch as the problem grows, spreading faster across the globe. The population has lost control, but all I know is it's all for show. We just watch as the problem grows, spreading faster across the globe. The population has lost control, but all I know is it's all for show. Boy, it's the way you're moving, it's all them things you're doing. I've come to one conclusion, you're coming home with me. It feels just like I'm dreaming, now you and me are leaving. That's how to end this evening, you're coming home with me.
she's coming home.
I'm coming,
She's coming home.
I'm coming,
She's coming home.
I'm coming, I'm coming home with you.
She's coming home.
I'm coming,
She's coming home.
I'm coming,
She's coming home.
I'm coming,
Yo,
I'm coming
yo,
home
yo,
with
yo.
you.
On a night out, I party hard. Me and my mates going bar to bar. Find me where the Jaegers and lagers are, and I'll be putting all the drinks on my Barclay card. Chatting up birds like blah blah, but I got a boyfriend. La-di-da. I don't really care unless your bra is large, and if you're out with your mate, menage a trois. Nah. I keep it one-on-one. I don't mean to be forward, but love, I'm drunk. We're gonna stop some wrong, cause you're a stun or hunt. You're big amazed like your jeans just come undone. Cause I'm liking the rhythm, got the pints in my sister gonna grind to the rhythm, trying to find me a drink, and then I'll take it to the bedroom. That's the first date. Yeah, you heard, mate, it's back to her place.
Boy, you're so why you're moving. It's all them things you're doing. I've come to one conclusion. You're coming home with me. It feels just like I'm dreaming. Now you and me are leaving. That's how to end this evening. You're coming home with me.
She's coming home.
I'm coming.
She's coming home.
I'm coming.
She's coming home.
I'm coming.
She's coming home with me. She's coming home.
I'm coming.
She's coming home.
I'm coming.
She's coming home.
I'm coming.
She's coming home with me.
Chris Leese in session on BBC Introducing on BBC Radio Stoke. So if you've never heard the show before and you're listening out, especially for Chris Leese, what did you reckon to the session? You can tweet us. It's at BBC Intro Stoke. So at BBC Intro Stoke if you want to get in touch tonight, or if you want to text, this is 81333. That's 81333. Start your message with the word Stoke. Chris Leese joins me in the studio now. I'm such
Stoke.
I don't want to sound like a fanboy, which I obviously sometimes can do, but I'm such a massive fan, especially that Landline track. It's
Thank you very much, mate.
so good. The references in it are just amazing. Big fan of that. So let's talk all about it then. You first uploaded your music a couple of months ago, because we first got to know you through Bet Nunn, who we've been playing loads as well.
Yeah, another rapper from Macclesfield, very good friend of mine.
What's going on in Macclesfield then? Where have all these amazing rappers come from in the last couple of months that we've started playing?
I'm friends with them all, mate. So if they're not friends of mine, they're not good at rapping, because there are a few that aren't and that aren't. Yeah.
So the first time we heard about you was when you'd done a song with Bet Nunn, who Bet Nunn we've been playing. We played a song of his called Back, which was from Christmas.
Master.
Yes, which is very, very good. And then you've been with him on a couple of tracks which we've played as well. But Hold On is a track that we played at the start of the show, which is the first kind of one of your own that we really started getting behind. And the rapping on that, it's so fast and so in your face.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It was one of them ones where we literally said, right, let's go as fast as we can. And Jay, he is one of the fastest in the UK. So, you know, we tried to outdo each other. I think he might have won, but I think my verse was better, so whatever.
So when you first started rapping then, talk me through how it all started.
Jesus. I heard Warren G, Regulate and Coolio, Gangster's Paradise, sort of like age 9, 10, something like that. And the first actual CD single that I got was Gangster's Paradise, and that had the instrumental version on it. So I think I wrote a song to that, like Crime Does Not Pay, or something awful anyway. And then, it just transcended from there. Just started rapping like yow, yow, yow in a proper American accent or whatever, and then heard UK hip-hop, and then thought, why am I rapping like Eminem? I need to be rapping more like what I actually sound like. And then it moved from there. Been in numerous groups, been in a group with Bet Nunn, been in a group with a load of other good close mates of mine called Goki Productions, but it's all sort of fell by the wayside, and everyone's doing their own thing still, but slowly and in their own ways as well. So we've just, this is my path so far. Kind of.
What do you think it was about rap that made you want to do that rather than any other genre? What do you think it was?
We were talking about this when the microphones were turned off, Robin. It was swearing originally. I'm going to be honest. But just the way you can, what you can do with your voice and make certain words rhyme and
alliteration and that kind of stuff.
That stuff, and also like just the flow of things. Like you said, that track before that I'd done with Jay, that you can go fast, you can go slow, you can make different words hit on different parts of the drums or whatever it may be. That kind of thing, basically. In concept tracks, I'm all about the concept tracks, as you know. And
who was it that you were listening to that would kind of your real inspiration then? Who was? Is it because when I hear Hold On, I hear a lot of kind of Busta Rhymes-esque kind of delivery. Is that a fair comparison?
I'm not I've never been a massive fan of Busta Rhymes, but I don't know, influences I suppose, like Nas, Illmatic's one of my favourite albums, a Slim Shady LP. I was going through some of my favourite UK albums today. I don't know if you've heard of any of the people, but Foreign Beggars you probably have heard of, Genesis, Elijah, Low Key, people like that. They're probably my top 3. Skinny Man, they're probably my top 3 or 4 UK hip-hop albums.
And they're the ones that kind of, when you started writing your own music, you were kind of getting inspiration from these people more than anything else.
UK, when I listened to UK stuff, it was a bit later on, so it was more the American side of things when I first started writing. So it was like Eminem was just a massive influence, and people just like Tupac, as cliche as it sounds, and like I say, Nas, Snoop, Dr. Dre, The Chronic in 2001.
So when you first started, that 2001 album is probably, I think it's probably still one of my favourite albums ever. If I, you know, everyone asks you about your Desert Island Discs and stuff like that, it is one of those albums where you could just listen to it over and over again.
It's just the production on it and how wide and how big the tracks sound compared to anything that comes out today it's still there, and it was 1999 when it came out, so it's amazing. When
you first started performing then, where do you reckon in Macclesfield people kind of understood what you wanted to do and what you wanted to sound? Can you remember your first gig?
My first time I ever went on stage was in Leeds at a club called Rehab, and they had all these birds dressed up as nurses and stuff like that, and I was underage anyway, so I was like, oh my god, I even got ID'd even though I was performing, but I went on and it went well, but that was still when we were rapping in an American accent, so it was packed because there was a big act on that night. I can't remember who it was, but yeah, when we brought it to Mac, it was literally the bar that we always used to perform at was called That Bar or B Bar, and they were selling out a beer before the night had finished. They used to get that rammed. Now when we do a show, it's not necessarily as many people come through. So it's I don't know, does that answer your question? It's all changed.
We'll have some more music now and then we'll come back and another chat in a second, that's all right. Chris Lee's in session for us on BBC Introducing tonight. This, though, is a band who are going to be performing down at Limelight on Monday. They're called Rinse. This is a track called Going Under. you like this, Rinse and Going Under, you will see them for free on Monday at Limelight Festival. We are big fans of Rinse. 9:10, Saturday night. BBC Introducing on BBC Radio Stoke. If you want to tweet us, it's at BBC Intro Stoke. Don't forget all the photographs that you need and videos. Facebook.com/BBC Introducing from Stoke. Going to be in from the Blue Collars and Neutrino a little bit later on in the programme. Now, though, Chris Leese is my guest tonight. He is in session for us. So we've heard the two tracks. If you've missed them, bbc.co.uk/Stoke. You can listen again from that from 10 o'clock tonight. We've been talking a lot about Landline. We heard the story of it. I've got a feeling that is going to be big. I don't know. So, I've got a big feeling that's going to be big.
I hope so.
So, as regards to new music, then, what is the plan for now? Because we're starting to hear all this music. When are we going to start? What's next for you, do you think?
Well, I've just finished the album with Jay Madden. The thing I'm working on now is the Big Shots project, and that's me and a singer called Oli Frost. So the Landline is going to be the first single off that. We're shooting a video for it very soon, June, and we're just putting all that album together, and we're trying to make it a commercial friendly album that's still got good rapping on it, so catchy choruses and good rapping basically, and good beats. It's all produced by a lad called Focus in London, and yeah, we nailed. I think I've sent it in before. Already done one video called Tattoos and Trainers. That'll be the second video out. After that, hopefully the album will be done end of the year. But for me right now, it's all about getting this Landline video and track out. So
where are you when you are writing then? Where are you putting all your notes? Because with rap music, I suppose it's a lot more observational, and I suppose there's a lot more lyrics that go into, say, a standard song, because you've got, especially when you're rapping as quick as you are, you've got to cover a lot of ground. Where are you writing it all? Have you got loads and loads of notes in your phone?
I'll do it, I've probably, my boss isn't listening, but I'll do a bit of writing at work.
On your break, obviously.
Of course, yeah. I'd sometimes just go in on Saturday just to, get away from the missing. But no, I'll write at home on a pad, on a computer. My notes section of my iPhone is just full with nonsense, like no, you could read it and not even know what it means. Anywhere. Literally anywhere, backs of envelopes of gas bills or whatever it may be. What's
more important for you then? Is it making sure that you've got a right beat, or making sure that the lyrics are there? And how often do you get through a song and think, actually, I'm just going to scrap this?
Good question. A while ago, I would have put lyrics over beat. Now I will put beat and chorus over the verses. I think it's just the way I've sort of matured as an artist, that I would rather hear a good catchy chorus with some rapping on that's good, rather than just a rapper rapping for 100 bars or 60 bars or whatever it may be over a rubbish boom bap beat. Sorry, what was your second question?
What's the reason behind all the collaborations as well then? Because it seems that you do a lot of collaborations. How come do you reckon you do that rather than just going all
doing solo stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know, I've done one solo. I think I perform better as an artist when you've got someone else is on the track and I'm kind of vibing off him. The reason I did the album with Jay is because obviously I massively respect him as a rapper, and we've always got on well, and when we get on we'll argue for hours about who's better and stuff like that, and we always have a good laugh. The reason for working with Oli Frost on the Big Shots project is pretty much I'm not very good at choruses and he's amazing at singing, so I just think we work. There's a lot of, when you get to hear the album, there's a lot of just, it's not me rapping for 16 bars, it'll be him coming in every third or fourth bar and singing as well as doing the chorus.
Yeah, and do you think that's come with kind of experience, and I don't want to say maturity, but like that's the kind of, whereas before you might want to do it all yourself, but now you see what you're good at and you see what other people are good at and you try and get them both together rather than just saying, I'm just going to do this on my own.
Definitely, yeah. So, I think I've listened to a lot more music now, compared to when I started when I was 17. Obviously, the age I am now, it's completely all changed. So I hear rappers doing rapping choruses, and I think I don't want the chorus should be something that sticks in your brain for 2 days afterwards. You're like, why am I still singing that bloody chorus? You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's what we kind of aim to do.
Thank you so much for coming in.
No problem, mate.
I could talk to you about this for an entire show, but it'd be 11:30 tonight. We'll still be going. Thank you very much for coming in. So you've done a cover, as we always do.
Yeah.
Do you want to give us a kind of a cryptic clue as to what the cover is without telling us what it is?
If you can work it out, yeah. It's a female who is a singer, obviously, and she's recently had to move to LA She split up with her husband. I don't know anymore. It's allegedly, apparently. I don't know.
Heat. We've turned into Heat on a Saturday night.
I hope not, mate. I don't want to be involved in that.
Thank you so much for coming in.
No problem. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you very much. That's Chris Leese on BBC Introducing on BBC Radio State. You can see the video of Landline. It's going to be up in the next few days. Facebook.com/BBC Introducing from Stoke. This is Liam Hunt. He's in session for you next week.